I think the best asset I had as for being an entrepreneur is that I say yes and figure it out later, which is not like the game plan that most people would think.
All right, here with Jessy, who is with LaRue PR. I want to hear a little bit about you because I think you have a really interesting story to tell.
Thank you.
You are a serial entrepreneur who built and sold your first business by age 27.
That's right.
Which is incredible.
I
Can be proud of that.
Yeah, I am a serial entrepreneur. I started right out of college and I launched by mistake cosmetics company.
By mistake?
By mistake. It really was like a weekend in the kitchen making lip balms with a girlfriend.
Okay.
And because we both worked at a magazine, we saw the potential for it to become sort of more than just a weekend initiative and maybe a little bit of a hobby. And then I thought about how to monetize it. And so
Did you ever anticipate that you would be an entrepreneur, or was it always just a hobby or a passion?
I think the best asset I had as for being an entrepreneur is that I say yes and figure it out later, which is not like the game plan that most people would think. But when we started with making this one lip balm and we got an order and it would be for 300 units, instead of being like, oh no, how can I do it? Can I do it? We're gonna do it.
Yes. Can you talk about like a little bit more about that process of actually, when did you know that you could pivot from, oh, we're just making lip balm in my kitchen to we're selling it, to this is a business?
So really, that question is the perfect transition. It's how I found PR.
Okay.
I was sort of on the creative and marketing side of the business, creative marketing, PR, and all of that, and my partner was on the design side. And after our first press clip, which I just got by hustling, we had mutual contacts, both my partner and I at Time Out New York. Once we landed that placement, I saw the power of PR because immediately we got an order from a big buyer at Henry Bendel's, which is a big store in New York and a brand, and that was all from PR.
When you were, so you had kind of gotten this experience, you built your first company, and then had gotten this PR kind of knowledge through that, did it immediately click for you that, okay, now I should start a PR firm? What was that, going through that second phase?
When I started the cosmetics company, which was called Femme Arsenal, I started at 22 and I was done with it by the time I was 28. We had sold all the equity off, and it was the kind of startup you hear about where we worked 800 hours and it was the grind. And so when it came to a close, when we were done with it, I wanted a job.
We wanted a job.
I wanted a job. Yeah, I wanted a job.
You wanted to go to work.
I didn't want to have to think about all the nuts and bolts that came with running your business. I wanted a salary job. I wanted to go to work and get to be creative for someone else. And so I did that, and I did it for a year. And after a year of doing it, I was like, no more.
Done with that.
Right. And I worked at PR. That's what I did for that year. And what can I do on my own terms and it fit the bill? And then I would say that I really started as a freelancer and didn't grow into an agency for maybe the first 3 years. I've had the business for 10 years.
So you started as a freelancer. You were independently doing it. What was it like going out the second time? Just, like you tried going in-house, tried having a steady job. What was it like building your second business from the beginning?
So I did it at the most inopportune time. I had a 6-month-old at home who was pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant with my second kid. And I went on this freelance interview with an e-commerce site. I didn't know I was pregnant. I knew I had a new baby and that it would be part-time. And then they hired me. And then it was such a natural evolution. I got one brand and I did a good job. And so then they referred me to another one.
How did you get the first brand to work with you?
I think it was so the thing is coming off of my company and I was the director of PR and marketing at Essie. I had worked at an agency intermittently while growing my own business before I quit. So I had good experience. I had a great portfolio of work. I knew all the right contacts. And, I think they were a startup and they wanted someone that was hungry and passionate and and affordable.
And so you said it was for 3 years. Were you by yourself doing it?
Yeah, I was
freelancing.
Yeah, 3 years. It was myself. I had kids, so I had a nanny that I don't really count like my nanny as an employee. And then I slowly started adding people, and now I have about a team of 5 full-timers, and we're still a very small boutique agency. We run lean. And I do that because I still want to be able to work with established, bigger brands, but also emerging brands.
Have there been any moments along this 10-year journey where you hit like big road bumps and not been certain you could get over them? And how did you?
There's been sort of periods where it felt more stagnant, and I realized it was my energy. I was in the routine of my life, and it was still a profitable business, but it wasn't an evolving business. And I realized that an evolving business is what I wanted. The passion and the force is really me. And so I think that in life you get complacent, and it's not that I wasn't working hard for my clients. I wasn't working hard for my brand, my business. And so I had to sort of realize that, and then it's been pretty much full force since then. I mean, and I've also had all the typical, oh my God, I have 2 kids, oh my God, I work all the time, oh, I shouldn't be on the phone answering email when I'm doing, but I've also sort of come to accept that I'm a workaholic. I love my children. It's gonna be like, they're gonna have some great things from me working and having my own business, and then they're gonna have some not so great things, and it has to be okay.
I want to kind of go back to that, those early days when you said landing the first big piece of press is really what helped your business grow.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's probably key for a lot of businesses getting started. But the question is, how do I get that?
So
how do I land it? I'm small.
Right. You don't have a budget for a PR firm. I mean, it's really knowing where you need to be. So identifying the media. Identifying the right contact, and putting together an email, a pitch that is not overwhelming, not copy heavy, that's snappy and catchy. Sometimes it's a catchy subject. Sometimes it's a great image when they open the email. Sometimes it's being the kind of persistent that is almost annoying, but not quite.
So would you recommend to someone who's getting started, is it worth them investing in sort of these guerrilla tactics, and rather than just sending an email, they send something physical, or they do something out of the box, or is that good? Or
I mean, I think if you do it, if you know who you're trying to target, and you put together a package that's compelling, and you're smart and you've identified the right outlet, then yeah, I wouldn't just send something out to the void.
Okay.
So it's really kind of going after the media outlet and the person with a plan in place.
Okay, so I said I can't let anyone get out of the seat without pulling at least one question from the jam jar. So I'd love for you to grab one out and read the question to the camera.
If you could have one unpredictable superpower, what would it be? This is such like not an empowered woman answer, and I would like to say fly or be invisible, but I would love to eat everything that I wanted all the time.
Yes, hallelujah, yes.
I mean, I can't pretend that's not who I am, but it is.